Interview with us today. And I'm going to
My
start with the
pleasure.
question. Thank you so much.
So
Why did you
let's
decide
say for the
to
people who's gonna see this interview that we're doing this live from Brazil to Italy, and the connection is not great. So if guys, if sometimes there's a little pause between questions and answers, it's because the connection is not great. So it's not
start?
because we're drunk.
Why did you decide to write a book?
So this is it's always been in my, let's say, in my mind and in my heart. The story that I wrote with Nutshell is a true story. It's based on a true adventure of a group of people, a group of friends that I was part of, and um, we had this very crazy adventure back in 2004, and I thought that you know I thought that one day I would have put this down on a book, and then suddenly in 2017 I met someone that was basically my editor from Mondadori in Italy, and they asked me if I had any stories to put it down because I was already working as an actor. And I said, well, I have this story that is a real story. I also have like 6 hours of footage of that trip.
Really?
So yes, so they said, okay, let's talk about it, and here we are. It became a book.
Wow, that's amazing. And who was you? You were Nico back
Well,
then?
I think that Nico, I think that Nico represents many of us. Nico, of course, it's a fake name, and um, Nico represents the dream. Nico represents the obsession. Nico represents the pain that each one of us can experiment in our life. So the question is not if I am Nico. The question is what part of you is the part of Nico. And
Yeah. Better. It's better now. And what part is you? The obsession, the dreamer?
well, definitely, I'm a passionate person. I'm a very passionate guy. I think, and I love cars a lot. So absolutely, the part of me that is Nico. It's the part of Giulio that loves speed, that loves strong
The
emotions.
adrenaline.
Exactly, strong emotions. But
Okay.
at the same time, it's the guy, it's the part of me that it's very reflective, and that doesn't always that is always seeking for something better, that is always seeking for a growth, and it doesn't really it's not happy just with what it comes with life. He wants to build his own life. He wants to build his own legacy, his own story. And Nico is of course is a fiction name, and the guy that I get inspired by, it's the only one that doesn't exist. It's all the others are there, but Nico is very much a part of each one of us they were there at the time. So it's very much about what you like about Nico and what Nico will touch of yourself.
Oh, that's incredible. I never imagined that when I read the book, when I translate the book, I couldn't imagine that it was based on a true story.
I will send you, if you want, I will send you one day a clip. I can talk to Beatrice, and I can send you a clip of that street when the it takes part in Rome. We're already working on an idea of a movie, but I cannot say much about it. But I would say that, yeah, I mean, it makes sense because to me the book is very much visual, and I
Yeah.
wanted to I wanted to write down 50, 60 pages more. I didn't have the chance at the time because for many different reasons I wasn't experienced, and so we closed the contract before that the book was ready. So I
Right.
had to, I had a very close time to write it down, 25 days, and for somebody like me that is not a writer, it's not much. uh, but I would say that if you see the if you read the book and you give the book time to get into you, you can really imagine things, and that's something that I like a lot as a person, and that's why, for example, I work as an actor, because I love to make what I read visualizable, you know, as a movie, of course. So I would
Yeah.
say that the movie of Nutshell is definitely something that it's there. We're working on it. We'll see. But
Wow.
those places, those people, those stories are fully true. Like not even one thing is fake.
It's fake.
So
Oh gosh. I really want that clip. I really want to see that road, that street, because when I was reading, I was like, oh my God, that's a really big, a really long street and road, and they are racing, and what's going on? What's going on? I, that was incredible, incredible.
thank you. Did you like the movie, the book?
Yeah, very much, very much.
I'm glad.
What's your favorite part from the book?
Well, I love it. You know, it's like a baby boy. It's like a child. So you cannot say that you love the hand more than the feet or whatever. So I think I love everything of it.
The whole
Um,
book, the whole thing.
yeah, the old package. But definitely, I would say that what I tried to work a lot on it was, you know, not to make just a simple story of rich kids having fun and trying to, you know, find their place in the world doing the most stupid things in the world, which is a very common story, but trying to dig into the reason why, to the reason why they had to go over to do something that was out of their, you know, out of their,
Ordinary, all the out of the
yeah,
common.
like why they had to risk their lives in order to feel alive, why they had to, you know, um, to imagine why people do things in general. And I would say that the part that I love the most are the part where Nico is talking to himself, because basically is that's what we do all day long. We spend like 95% of the day in our head talking to ourselves.
Talking
And
to ourselves, questioning every decision and every act, everything.
why not exactly?
What
So
if?
yeah, what if I tried to give an order to that, and to, of course, to put it into a book that had to make sense somehow. But I really love the idea of, you know, somehow tell a story of someone that was trying to find himself, even though himself was already there. And sometimes it's just like we are not enough for each other, which is quite strange, you know, because we actually are enough for each other.
Are enough.
but but the society puts us so much pressure that we have to change, we have to do something, we have to obtain this, we have to make this, we have to make that, that we live in fears, in this very weird feeling of not being enough, not being enough for our parents, not being enough for our friends, not being enough for anyone, not even being enough for ourselves.
For ourselves.
And so I find that I find that part very interesting, even as a writer, to just, you know, I was standing there hours and hours, imagining and thinking what I was thinking at the time, what they were thinking at the time. And I think that that's the most interesting part for me of the book, because it's very not much what you expect. From the beginning of the book till the end, there's a
And
constant growth, a constant seek of truth, a constant seek of himself, of the main character and all the other people that, you know, it leads you. It's like it's a sort of it's an adventure inside yourself, because you start to somehow connect your personal experiences to the experience of Nico, which is very different from the life that we all live, because it
yeah,
was, you know, racing with cars and doing crazy things. But at the same time, it's very much like ourselves. You know, he has a lot of self doubts, a lot of, you know, he has a heart, he has a soul. He's not just a character that is out there doing silly things. You know.
yeah.
So I would say that the heart of the kid is what I like the most.
Oh God, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. The book cover is different and it's very beautiful. I really like it.
Thank you
Did
very
you
much.
draw it?
Yes, I did it.
Okay.
We could. It's funny because we couldn't find a cover, and they gave me a couple of, how does it work? They give you a couple of ideas, and then they gave me like this orange turtle. I was like, what is this? They were like, yeah, it makes sense, like Italian. It makes sense because it's a turtle, the nutshell, the thing, the. I was like, no, 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 it doesn't make sense at all.
Oh,
This looks like the cover of a sunscreen cream that you can sell it, during the holiday. It doesn't look like a book that I want it to be. So I was like, give me 5 minutes, and I will come with an idea. So I took a shot of myself with that thing that I have still, the little turtle thing, the thing that
uh-huh.
Victoria gave to Nico during the story, which is a true story, of course. So I have that thing,
I,
and I took a screenshot of it, and then I draw it on my cell phone, the lines of myself, and I place it in
just
black and
like a
white.
sketch.
Exactly, and then I wrote it that I zip it up, like I zip on a picture to black it out, to fade off of the face, and then I wrote on it nutshell with my finger. So it comes out, I think, pretty strange, but somehow interesting. It's this book is very much about the shadows that we all have in our hearts, and we
It
don't show
really
to
caught
each.
my attention,
So
the
it's it,
cover.
it yeah, I liked it very much when I saw it. I was like, oh, I like this very much, and I showed them, and they were like, oh, it's okay, it's nice. I was like, come on, give me some credit, and they were like, yeah, it's great. Let's use this one. Yeah, so that's more or less the idea. And you can see, if you turn the page, if you can turn the book, you'll see that's the picture that I took of myself. So the
The real
picture on the
picture
back, yeah,
in the back.
yeah,
Okay. Wow. A lot of people know you from your part from as Professor Gabriel Emerson in the movie
yes,
Gabriel's Inferno from
yeah, which is
Passionflix.
coming in. The third chapter
Third
is
part.
coming out very, very soon. So it's
Yeah.
very cool.
Are you anxious to see the comments about this last part, this last chapter?
Um, but to be honest, I'm very happy because we've done a hell of a job. Like it was really tough, tougher than most of the other movies I've done, because we had to shoot 200 pages in 6 weeks, which is crazy. It's like 15, 18 pages a day. And when it's not your language, I speak English, but of course it's American,
Not
it's not
your
my language.
first time.
it,
It's
wa-
not your
it was
first
very
time.
tough. Yeah, exactly. I had someone, and you had to be believable as a teacher, as an American professor. So I had to work very hard with someone, Thomas, the a beautiful guy that helped me out with the accent, to get not just even the accent, but also the movement, the way it was moving around. Like, I'm very different in life than Professor Emerson. Of course, we have a lot of things in common, but sometimes people that know me well was looking at the movie, and they were like, "That's not you." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, that's me. It's me." No, 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 it's not you. That's
You
another
can't
part
believe
of
it.
you.
That's me.
Exactly. So I'm very happy in general with the result, and the comments in general are very, very good of the movie. I think that we've done something really special, and of course, Tosca, me and Melanie wanted to do something that was the closest possible to the book. You guys know that most of the time when you see a movie that comes out of the book and you've read the book already, you're completely unhappy with the results, because
Yeah.
in 2 hours you cannot write down, like, one pages of a scene in a movie. It's like 1 minute of a movie, one page of a scene. So imagine 1 page of a novel that is fully written. It takes like probably 15 minutes just to film that down. But we had to do it this way. That's why it takes so long. The script was like 200 pages. Normally it's like 100, because we wanted to put every details in it. And I think that the comments are very, very, they're very happy about that. All the people are saying that it's very like it's very much like the book. So
Very
I know
loyal.
that, yeah, the third part is actually my favorite part, is the best of the three, I think, of the first chapter of Inferno. It's so good. And also because there's Italy inside, there's a lot of good things, but it's very much the best part of it. So I'm not anxious. I'm just super happy and can't wait to
And
show it.
excited to see the final result,
Exactly,
right?
exactly, exactly. I will dub some stuff tomorrow. We had some, technical issues with planes are were coming or cars or somebody was shouting in the background, so we had to cover some stuff. But it will be ready super soon.
Yeah. How was to play Gabriel?
Gabriel was funny and was very challenging, I would say. I love that character very much. It's probably the character that I love the most so far because it's very complex. Again, when you have so much stuff to work with, it can be extremely difficult. It's like, trying to draw a picture. If you have only one color, it's easier. But if you have to use like 100 colors, it's very difficult because it comes out like a mess, and so we need to go through all the aspects of Gabriel, the way he was walking before, during, and after, why he was doing certain things, and it was very challenging and I loved it very much. It's a process that I love very much, is to study, to get prepared, to go on set fully prepared. And again, I had Melanie, which is, I don't know if you've seen the movie. Melanie is just so nice. She's great. We love each other so much professionally and as a human being. So I was very blessed to be part of such a great movie. And again, we have the best fandom in the world. The people that love Gabriel's Inferno are the best in the world. So I'm very happy and I feel very lucky and blessed.
Wow, that was so a fully process, a complete process to you to
Uh,
create this,
Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
create Gabriel.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just finished part one. So now we have to do Redemption. We have to do all the other books. So it will take probably a couple of years more, but we are really happy. I talk to Tosca basically almost every day with Ali from Passionflix. So we're already working to make it even better. The second movie, the second book. So it's been a hell of a ride, and I loved it very much. I can't wait to be back on set.
That's the most important thing.
Yes. And now, during the quarantine, I started to play the guitar. I started to do little things that I was doing when I was a kid, and I started to write down my second book because I have an idea, another true story. It'll take a little bit longer because it's very complicated. It's based on the Second World War, and it's a love story. But I would say that has all the ingredients to be very special. So I'm very happy about that.
I can't wait to read that too.
We'll
I'm
see.
also a I'm also a history teacher, so
Oh, so am I gonna call you and ask you for some
okay.
advice? Because the most difficult part is to be, fully honest and fully true with the history. The
About the
reserve,
event.
I'm doing that right now. So I'll
No
ask you for a
problem.
couple of tips.
Oh, no problem. I'm here. Just call me. Just give me a call.
Okay, I will.
Do you have a favorite scene from the movie?
From the movie, well, I would say, well, again, it's like a kid. I have many, many.
No.
I know. I have many different sequences that I love the most. The first time that Gabriel goes into into Julianne's house, the first time they kiss, the first dinner together, the big argue in the lecture hall, the big argue into the studio, and then we have the big monologue of Paulina that is coming on the third part, which is so good. And yeah, it's gonna be great. I honestly, I will tell you, I will answer your question at the end of the entire three movies because I need to see all of them first of all. But I would say that in the first three parts, I name what I like the most. Every time that they get closer and closer, it's a very slow burning process, and I think they're very exquisite. The way that they love each other, it's very unique, and it's so rare during even now. That we have social medias and stuff like we check a lot on our bodies first, let me see this guy, and you go there and you watch the way he look like, and you already know if you like it or not. And at the time we didn't have that. Like I was born in 84, and since probably 10 years ago, not even 6 7 years ago, you didn't have that. You see someone, you saw someone on the street, and then you try to meet a guy that might possibly know him or know her, and then get the number, and then little by little get into that. So that is a slow burning process that actually gives you the ability to build that emotion inside you, the guess. Yeah, even the guessing, let me see what it looks like. And that guessing is what, to me, it's very fascinating of people, that they love each other. And we have that a lot in Gabriel's Inferno, because it's like these two big worlds are very close, but they never kiss. Actually, they never collide.
Collide, never
Exactly, they're very close. They started to, it's like two planets,
orbitating,
exactly, into each
orbitating.
other, until one day they will. But it's so good to see how they're spinning. And can you hear me? Yeah.
We're back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think, nowadays it's very rare to see that, because of course everybody wants to go fast. And again, even in real life with social media, as new generations are, they're forced to do faster things. Like when I was like 14, 15, 20, I had to get the number, and I first call that at home, and then I hope
It
that the
was
father,
a process.
yeah, and I'm hoping that the father was not the first one to answer. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I never had the chance to talk to her. And then little by little get to know each other, and then maybe kiss each other, and then maybe having a relationship. Nowadays, it's very much on a visual thing. So I would say that the very slow burning process that we have in Gabriel's Inferno, it's. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes. I
Hi.
would say that the very slow burning process that we have in Gabriel's Inferno, it's very rare and it's very precious. And I think that what is really lovable about those books, because you get into the story and you still have the time to breathe and to smell love around you, not just, let me see if
And
it's
you can
pocket or.
participate from all the stages of that
Yeah,
relationship.
exactly, because most of the time it's very much also about the relation that we have with each other during that process. What we
Yeah.
discover all ourselves. So if it's a visual thing, like, oh, I like this girl very much, she's very hot, let's date, or it's not. It takes a lot of magic away, and so I think we try to really recreate that sort of romanticism that we somehow lost during these days.
Plus,
Yeah.
yeah. And you talked about social media. Did you read all the comments on your social media?
Well, I try to. Most of the time, I of course I manage my social media by myself, and I always try to read all the comments. Yes, I like to participate. Of course, not all the time is possible, because it's a hard job. It's like it's a job. Like you need to be there fully on 24 hours a day, and people around.
24/7.
Yeah, and people around you in real life, they get pissed. Like, stop being on your phone. But I
Yeah.
try to do it, and yeah, I would say that people that follow me are very, very kind people. I'm very not interested in big numbers, to be honest. I'm more interested in qualities. I think that, um,
You like more
you know,
quality.
yeah, like I would love to share
Quality
content.
that the
Yeah,
fans that follow you, follow your career,
yeah,
your
I would say kind people. I'm not interested in big numbers. I'm interested in to create a little world of kind people and knowledge. Like, let's not just talk about my blue eyes or whatever. I don't want to just sell product out there, because at the end of the day, social medias nowadays are that. You get big numbers to make money out of it, but it's
yeah.
not just that to me. It's also a way to communicate yourself and what you think, and talk about things that I like a lot. For example, climate change or environmental things, or try to be kind with,
Quarantine or
yeah, whatever, like things that can, make people
other
think.
people can
And
relate it.
yeah, exactly. So I really I like to be present. I like to be, you know respectful of the time that people dedicate me when they write me something. So it's not always possible, but I try to do my best.
Oh, that's amazing. Besides writing and acting, do you have any other talent or skill? I'm just asking that because I read online that you are also a dentist. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah. I started as a dentist,
Really?
and yeah, I still working as a dentist when I'm not filming, and now I'm working with a friend on opening a clinic. We will do fillers with a new technique that doesn't look like you have, fillers. It's just look like you're natural. It's called biorevitalization. It's a long story, but anyway, um, I would say, well, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I have talents. I just know that I need to seek for something, I need to keep moving. Life is like a bicycle. You need to keep moving, otherwise you get stuck. And to find your equilibrium, you need to do things, and I think it's good to, to try to experiment and to express yourself.
To
There's a
try
very
new
nice,
things?
yeah, it's like, God gave us something when we were born. And some people said, well, the Bible said that God doesn't want you to give the talents back like he gave it to you, but he wants you to give it back fully grown, And
Somehow.
so, yes. And so it's good to try, it's good to experiment. One thing that I would say to the people that are watching us right now, and that they will watching us, I hope so, it's to not be afraid of fail, not be afraid of make mistakes. One thing that our society, to me, it's wrong. It's very wrong. Is that they put pressure on us about success, about being this, about being that, and that stop us to be brave. Because every time that we fail, we feel judged. First of all, from ourselves, our families, and then from the people around us. But life is not like that. Life, it's like the life of a kid. You need to walk, and if you fall down, doesn't matter, just stand up again and try to walk
It's
again.
another step. It's another
Exactly,
step.
exactly. So I like to experiment. I build bikes. I'm writing my second book right now. I'm working on 2 songs. I will try to sing some stuff.
You're
And I'm working.
multi-talent.
I don't know if I'm multi-talent or just simply unable to focus on one thing, but we'll see. But I like to I like to experiment. I always been one of those guys at the time when I was a kid that was doing 10 things a day.
Yeah,
10 things at the time. So
at
we'll
the time.
see. We'll see. I'm working on a medical device too, so we'll see. A very strange thing. Yeah, I had an idea while I was filming Gabriel's Inferno. So I grew up like I built a company, and we'll see if this thing will lead to somewhere. I think has a lot of potential, but we'll see. Being close to Musk, to Tosca Musk, and to her family, it's quite interesting, because you meet all this very crazy, skilled, intelligent people. Tosca, her brother is Elon, and her mother, and she has another brother that is Kimball. They're all very unique individuals. So when you're there, you almost feel like even if you're working 18 hours a day, you're not doing enough. So you need to do something more, and
Something more.
exactly. And so I always had I don't know, it just gave me this very, it just awake my curiosity even more.
Yeah.
If you put down things, if you structure your life in a certain way, even if you go through rough times, you can still achieve a lot. And the fact that
That,
we were working so hard, and she was able to actually take care of her children so well after all those hours on set and outside of set. And she was the perfect mother, and at the same time the perfect director and the perfect CEO of the company. Tells you a lot on what will can do. Willpower is amazing. So I like to experiment myself, and I like to experiment my willpower. Sometimes I get lazy. I love to be lazy, but sometimes I like to be also extremely focused. It's a good to have a balance, you know.
Yes. And between Nico and Gabriel, who
Yeah.
is more like you?
Ah. Oh, well, I would say that somehow Nico and Gabriel are similar, you know. The big difference between Nico and Gabriel is that Nico is somehow, well, in the first part of, no, actually they're very similar. In the first part of the book, Nico is trying to avoid his responsibilities, which is what is doing Gabriel with himself. He's trying to avoid his responsibility by trying to kill himself, to trying to, you know, being self-pity, or simply to build a structure around himself to cover himself into this, you know, sort of reality where everything is controlled and perfect. Because outside of that, he's a drinker, is a guy that has a lot of pain in his heart and doesn't know how to deal with it. And somehow Nico is the same character, you know. I would say that I'm very much like the both of them when it comes to loving someone, when it comes to, you know, I had a lot of not necessarily good adventures when it comes to love. You know, I had a lot of difficult moments in my life. You know, it doesn't look that bad maybe, but doesn't look like that. But you know, I had my dosage of suffer pretty big and pretty well. But you know, I don't know. What I don't like of Gabriel is is that sometimes it's very hard on people. I'm not like that. I'm very different. I try to be very kind, and for example, that was a challenge for me because I'm very much like a kind person. I consider myself very kind. So to be hard on someone, especially someone like Melanie, that is like super little and super cute, and she's like the best, you know, little good-looking girl that you can have around you, like with this beautiful hair. She smells like flowers. It was very hard. It was like I was forcing myself, and Tosca was like, "Be hard, be harder." It's like, okay, Julia, come on, you can do this.
And
And then
afterwards, sorry, I didn't mean to.
I'm sorry.
After
Yeah,
the scene.
exactly. Straight after, I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's just the character. I'm sorry. But yeah, I would say that, you know, a little part of me is in Gabriel, a little, no, a big part of me is in Gabriel, a big part of me is in Nico, and the reverse, you know. So I would say that when it comes to cars and stuff, I'm more like Nico. I'm very much like an adrenaline seeker. I'm not a drinker. But
You
when it
like
comes
that
to,
rush, that
yeah,
adrenaline rush.
yeah, but when it comes to, you know, to pain and suffer, I probably react like Gabriel. I try to, I think I shut down a lot. I close myself into myself, and that's what Gabriel does a lot. So I would say I'm like Gabriel and like Nico, or they're just like me, you know, which is probably
Yes,
true.
it's more like that.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Do you
It's
want
been a
to
pleasure.
leave a message for your Brazilian fans?
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. Obrigado from everything, from the love you guys are sending me through social medias and stuff. And I hope to come in Brazil and see you super soon. I love Brazil. I love Brazilian people. Actually, my best friend is Brazilian, and so I love the culture. I love the food. I love everything from that country. So hope you guys gonna enjoy my book. Please feel free to comment and let me know what you guys are thinking about it, because it's very important. It's a piece of my heart, and I want to give it to you. So please accept it, and thank you so much.
Thank you for doing this interview today.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Ciao. Ciao.